A shipment of up to 400 Chinese shoulder-fired air defensive systems could soon be moved to Iran. The reported deal includes QW-12 and FN-16 systems worth roughly $60 and up to $70 million, with the first deliveries potentially traveling from Urumqi in western China through Pakistan. China and Pakistan deny this report, and the shipment has not been independently verified, and the timetable could still change. But the timing is what makes this very dangerous. President Donald Trump has paused another major wave of attacks while giving negotiations a final chance. American aircrafts remain positioned all across the region, and Israel's Air Force and air defense systems remain on high alert, and the target files are still open. So, is this a path towards peace, or is Iran using the pause to repair the military system that the United States and Israel spent months tearing apart? At a first glance, this is a story about several hundred missiles. The systems are designed to threaten helicopters, drones, and aircrafts flying at a low altitude. A small team can carry one, then hide it inside a vehicle or a building, and then relocate after firing. That makes it harder to find than a fixed radar station or a large surface-to-air missile battery. These weapons would not restore Iran's entire air defensive network. They cannot replace the long-range radars, the command centers, and integrated batteries that were destroyed during the war. They could, however, complicate the lowest part of the sky, rescue helicopters, drones, hunting mobile launchers, and aircrafts operating near terrain or strategic sites that would face teams that could appear with a very little warning. Iran learned that large defensive systems can be mapped, their emissions detected, and their command posts penetrated. Once those fixed elements are destroyed, American and also Israeli aircrafts gain far greater freedom to hunt the launchers, the depots, and the strategic facilities. A mobile missile team does not stop a stealth bomber at high altitude, but it can make lower-level missions slower and more dangerous, and can force additional electronic warfare, change flight routes, and keep surveillance platforms further away from the target. For years, Beijing supported Tehran without openly crossing into direct military intervention. China bought Iranian oil, provided diplomatic cover, and allowed companies and middlemen to supply dual-use products. American sanctions have targeted firms in China and Hong Kong accused of helping Iran obtain technology and raw materials for the Shahad drones and the ballistic missiles. That supply chain includes electronics, industrial machinery, composite materials, and precursor mechanics that is used in the solid fuel production. None looks like a complete missile when it leaves the factory. Inside Iran's military-industrial network, however, then they can be rebuilt, create the engines, create the guidance systems, the airframes, and the production lines. China is the largest buyer of Iranian oil. Much of it is sold at a discount through concealed routes. Yet the Gulf states are more important commercial partners. Beijing wants Hormuz open and the energy moving, while also benefiting when the United States spends resources in the Middle East instead of in the Indo-Pacific. A defensive weapon fits that balance. China can argue that it is not giving Iran a system to attack the Gulf states. It is giving Tehran something designed to make America and Israel operations more difficult. I want to invite you now to take part in something real that's happening here in Israel, something that is rooted in the land and in our hearts, especially now when the fighting in the north continues. I call on you to help us invest in the northern communities of Israel that were struck by multiple rockets, drones, and terrorists of the Hezbollah terrorist organization. We are launching the Rebuild Israel campaign. We're bringing life back to Israel's north. So along Israel's northern border, an area that is marked by war, displacement, and loss, we are planting an apple orchard. Not as a symbol for a single moment, but as part of a long-term commitment to rebuild what was damaged. So this orchard is more than just agriculture. It creates jobs for local families. It helps communities return and rebuild, and it sends a clear message to the people of Israel and also to our enemies that we are here to stay. We're not afraid. So when you donate, you're not just giving, you're not just planting an apple tree. You are rebuilding. Your support does put trees on the ground. It does restore livelihoods, and it also transforms land that is scarred by war into a land that grows again. And this is how renewal takes root. This is how Israel rebuilds after war. So join us in restoring the North and strengthening the future of the land of Israel. Go now to tbn.org/rebuildisrael. Again, that's tbn.org/rebuildisrael, or call 800-804-7895. Again, that's 800-804-7895. And plant a tree in Israel's northern communities where Hezbollah destroyed the apple orchard. We're going to plant it back and bring the people to the north. Stand with Israel. Before we continue, help us share the truth from Israel. You can do that by liking this report, by sharing it, and by subscribing to Boots on the Ground on our YouTube channel, TBN Israel, so that you never miss another update about this developing war. Because what you see on YouTube is only part of the story, and you can get a closer, first-hand report, behind-the-scene moments, and stories of faith, resilience, and hope from Israel at www.tbn.org/journeys/boots. You can also text the word BOOTS to 316-316 to receive direct updates from TBN Israel. So when Mati Shoshani and me, Yair Pinto, report from Israel, you're not only watching the events from a distance, you are seeing what's happening through the eyes of the people who live here on the ground. China may be helping Iran rebuild the hardware. Russia is reportedly helping Tehran understand what to do with it. American, European, and Ukrainian officials say that Moscow has provided satellite imagery, communications data, radar signals, and other electronic intelligence connected to American forces in the Middle East. These remain intelligence assessments rather than a fully public proof, and Russia has not confirmed them yet. Satellite imagery can show active hangars, defensive batteries, and changes after an attack. Signals intelligence can also reveal when a radar activates or a unit changes its communications pattern. Combined, those streams can update a target file. This does not mean that Russia presses the launch button for Iran. Russian data may instead help planners choose a route, identify a vulnerable part of the base, assess the damage after impact, and also adjust the next strike. The exchange is not charity. Russia has used Iranian-designed Shihad drones against the Ukrainian cities and the energy infrastructure in Ukraine. Iran has supplied weapons, technology, and production knowledge. Russia can provide a wider intelligence picture and lessons from a long conventional war. Moscow still has limits. It has not entered the war as Iran's treaty ally. Its interest is to keep Iran capable enough to absorb American tension without triggering a direct American-Russian confrontation. Weapons and intelligence are useless if Iran cannot pay suppliers. That is where a story about online gambling becomes part of the battlefield. A major investigation traced at least $4 billion in cryptocurrency that was transferred through Shipment, an unlicensed exchange operating from Dubai, for a Persian language gambling network containing more than 2,000 websites. The exchange interacted with addresses linked to Iran's central bank and with wallets associated by Israeli authorities with the sanctioned Iranian actors. The limit of the evidence matters because investigators did not establish that the Revolutionary Guards directly controlled the Shellbit or every part of the network. The public record shows a large financial channel and links to Iranian state-connected addresses. It does not prove that every dollar was military money. Great financial networks are built for separation. Exchanges, shell firms, brokers, gambling sites, and also digital wallets can move value without the normal banking system. A component may be purchased by one company, shipped by another, and paid through several addresses. No single transaction tells the full story. The same method appears in the logistics. The reported Chinese shipment would move through Pakistan, a country publicly involved in mediation between Washington and Tehran. Islamabad denies participating. Even so, the proposed routes show how equipment could reach Iran without passing through the Gulf waters, watched by the American forces. Further north, the Caspian Sea provides another corridor. Iran and Russia treated it as a protected rear area, moving Iranian-linked military cargo and also commercial goods between their ports. Then, Ukraine carried the war into that sanctuary. On July 28, Ukrainian forces struck a Russian warship and vessels used to transport Iranian-linked military cargo in the Caspian Sea. Iran said an explosion aboard an Iranian commercial vessel killed one sailor and wounded another. Ukrainian officials also described attacks on an oil facility and other logistical targets. Some targets were more than 640 kilometers from the nearest Ukrainian border. Long-range drones attacked the route once considered safe. Ukraine is attacking the supply system that is feeding Russia's war. Iranian-designed drones strike Ukrainian cities. Iranian-linked cargo travels north, and Russia is accused of helping Tehran target American forces. From Kiev's perspective, the wars are already connected. This is not a military alliance like NATO. China and Russia have not promised to fight for Iran. Each government has its own interests and the reasons to avoid uncontrolled escalation. What exists is a division of labor. China provides oil, revenue, industrial access, dual-use technology, and potential defensive systems. Russia provides experience and reported intelligence. Financial networks move money around the sanctions. Pakistan and the Caspian Sea offer alternative routes. Iran supplies pressure in return. It threatens the American bases. The shipping, the Gulf, the energy infrastructure, and Israel. It provides Russia with drones and technology that it keeps the United States tied to the region where every deployment and interception consumes resources. The system does not require perfect coordination. It only requires every participant to keep one sanction of the machine that operates and keeps going. For Israel and for the United States, that changes the next round. A rebuilt Iranian force could be more dispersed, mobile, and difficult to map. Shoulder-fired missiles could protect local areas. Russian intelligence could improve the warning and the targeting. Alternative corridors could replace disrupted routes. Cryptocurrency and also shell companies could keep purchases moving. None of this makes Iran invulnerable. Shipments can be tracked. Intermediaries sanctioned. Factories struck, and also logistics attacked. Ukraine has shown that even the Caspian corridor is not untouchable. But time favors the side doing the rebuilding. Every week without enforcement allows Iran to repair the factories, retain the crews, study the American and the Israeli methods, and hide more of its military systems inside civilian commerce and mobile networks. Iran was damaged, but the network keeping it armed, informed, financed, and supplied is still operating. Will this diplomatic window close Iran's path to the next war, or give Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran enough time to build a more dangerous one? Let me know what you think about this. And help us spread the truth. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on TBN Israel YouTube channel. That's how you help us reach more people around the world. And pray. This is a spiritual war. Uniting prayer for wisdom to our leaders, for our soldiers all across this region, for the innocent people of Iran, of the Gulf states, and for God's will to be done. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem.
Hello, this is Mati here in Jerusalem with TBN Israel.
This is Yair Pinto from TBN Israel here in Jerusalem. TBN Israel is keeping viewers informed with Israel-focused news, culture, and what God is doing in this land.
Support TBN Israel today online at tbn.org/Israel. Thank you.